Hey viewers, so you'll notice that you're going to hear a lot of me this time around, and that's because I had to re-record some lines for Kristin and Sirena due to an oversight by myself. I'm sorry. So for Kristin, you're going to hear Kristin says so-and-so, and then for Sirena, you'll hear an Irish accent. And for me, you'll just hear my regular voice. Thanks for watching.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, you just rotate the table and then just kind of like sandwich them between the props and the table. And then you kind of like just watch.
That my main weapon should be a table.
They watch in terror as this table moves again on its own. What? Is this place haunted? I don't think so. You're a cleric. You should know. One's a half-orc and one's a tiefling. The half-orc is the cleric.
Okay. So the cleric speaks Infernal, right?
You can try.
No. The cleric.
The tiefling.
The tiefling could
Oh
know.
no, sorry, not Infernal. Abyssal. My bad. My brain.
Yeah, we'll say yeah. The tiefling knows Abyssal.
Sweet. I say in a very soft and pitching tone, just leave on
And then the half-orc and the tiefling kind of look at each other like, "Did you hear that? Yeah. Let's get out of here." And much like the two gold diggers in Pocahontas, they just take off that way and don't even care. They just go that way, and they're gone. They're out of there, pushing things out of the way.
Leave.
Okay.
I feel like I've done my job.
Okay, next up is... Okay, so he looks behind him and sees his friends going, so he's like, oh, okay. Six. He's just gonna, like, try to meet up with them. And we'll just say this guy also sees his friends going, so they're just on their way out. Okay. Do you guys... Alright, we'll just say for the sake of brevity, we'll end the skill challenge there. And you guys all gather backstage.
Hooray, we won!
Yeah!
We did it!
We got the scarf! Okay. You guys gather backstage with the scarf in hand. What do you guys do?
Alright, let's hurry up and get out of here. We don't know where those pursuers are gonna...
Yeah, let's get back to what's her name's house?
Jupa?
Or Jupa.
Or Celiana.
One of those.
Yep.
Jupiana.
To be honest. Let's go.
Okay, so you guys head back to the Roanwood Estate. Woo! And I'll just stop.
We did.
Okay. Stop. With a victory in hand, you guys go back to the Roanwood Estate. And you guys go and lounge in one of the parlor rooms. There we go, that's the right word. It's actually like late afternoon, and you guys come inside to see Ariadne, who's Heth and Celiana's daughter, and she sees Ellie.
Best girl.
And she runs over, she goes, "Ellie!" And then she looks like she's gonna give you a hug, but then she like stops and is like, and she curtsies. "How do you do?"
Practicing social distancing.
Yeah, there you go. I curtsy as well. I'm good.
And then she kind of like grabs her skirt and twirls a little bit. "Can I hug you?"
And I curtsy once more and I'm like, yes!
Okay. And she squeals and goes, yay! And hugs you. And she says, Mom's been teaching me about consent.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah. We love consent.
But remember, with me, you can hug me anytime.
Oh, okay.
Because we're friends.
And then she kind of gushes over how she has a violin lesson and says she's going to go to it. And she looks around and she you see her become really sad, and then she looks to the group and says, Mommy told me about Sirena. It makes me sad because I go in the laundry room where she hid and I think about her.
Aww.
If only Aravan were here to cry about this.
Oh, and then Aravan's with you guys.
Oh, he is. Okay, we reconvened with him. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Like, I forgot about him. But anyway.
It's okay. He was also invisible.
Yeah, he's waited outside.
Ciara says he was knocked prone and then had to lie still because the play actors would find him either standing or lying down where he wasn't supposed to, so he just sort of possumed for a while there.
We'll say that the guy in the towel actually caught him and threw him back outside. And then by the time he got back in, you guys were running out, and he was able to sniff you guys out, and you guys met up. And then we'll say that Aravan is there, and he has a little moment with her where they talk about Sirena and how he is glad that she had friends that cared about her. And then she starts to just tear up a little bit, and then big wet tears come up. Oh, and then Heth comes out and he's like, oh no. He comes out and he comes and picks her up and he's like, hey, there. Wailing begins, and at the top of the stairs, Steliana busts out the door. Mom senses alert. And then she and Heth kind of exchange this, serious glance, and he's, it's okay, I got her. Hey, let's, Heth picks her up. Yeah, picks her up, takes her violin. Let's not go violin today, okay, honey? And she's like, no. And Steliana looks at you and says, oh, good, you're back. She walks down the stairs and hands you guys this paper. She says, I've heard from the Bradens. Oh, actually, there we go. At the top of the stairs, she comes up to you and says, you should know that Baron Evelios, Tirena's father, has appealed to Prince Orenthal to do an official investigation in Toril. Keyanthi and those of you who are familiar with forest elf nobility would know that Prince Orenthal is one of the princes over the elven principalities. And you can deduce that it's probably the one that he's in, that the Baron is part of. Even if getting involved with the Drow is always messy, and Orenthal likes to keep things simple. So even if Orenthal did grant the request, then we'd need approvals from matrons. She just kind of rubs her eyes. It's a start, and I'll keep my eye on it. But we have some good news too, and she hands you this envelope. You guys open it. Inside it says it's an elaborate wedding invitation. It says, "You were invited to the wedding of Nessa Avra, granddaughter of High Priestess Aideen Avra and Sir Keyanthi Kristin, to take the hand of Rhea Braden, son of Lady Deirdre Braden and Viscount Anthony Greedenhall of Leicester Kingdom, on the second half moon of Winterfall," which is roughly, you're in summer, so it's in the middle of winter. "Held in the Cathedral of Black Tears, followed by a reception shortly after. A secondary reception will be at the Greedenhall Grand Hall in the Leicester Kingdom 3 arch trines after the wedding. An arch trine is essentially a month, because a trine is their 8-day period, and then 4 of those makes an arch
Do I
trine.
recognize any of these names?
You would recognize the Braden name. You know that they're nobility. You don't recognize who this Rhea person is, because that's a pretty unusual name for a drow. And then you would also recognize the name Asiul as the last name of your magic teacher. So Sir Keyan Asiul, who is Nessa's grandfather, is related to your magic teacher somehow. But that's kind of like all you got.
She's like, yeah, that is news. That is certainly news. Definitely newsy news. Weddings.
Weddings.
I mean, I'd love to see Riord, but are we wanted by Toro? We didn't leave with the best standing.
I definitely wouldn't recommend going to the wedding, but there is a reception at the Greedenhall estate, which is the Rioric's human side.
Do I know where that is?
It's definitely in drow territory.
Make a history check. You can make a history check.
History, what's my
It won't be
history?
that high, because probably wouldn't know.
9.
A 9. You know it's in the southwest. That's about it.
Okay.
Of the
I
Leicester.
feel like we're kind of like Midwest. If I'm
You're-
remembering the map right. I might
You're,
not be.
let me get the map. I don't want it to be good accent. I'm changing my mind. It's gonna be east.
Okay.
I just always envisioned it somewhere in the south, so I'll make it here.
Okay. And it's 6 months away.
Is it in drow territory or is it somewhere else?
The wedding itself is 6 months away in Drow territory. It's in Toro. And then there's a reception in Toro, and then there's a second reception in the Leicester Kingdom. That will be another, like, a month after that. So it's technically, like, 7 months till the... Because they have to travel from Toro to the father's side.
Yeah, full disclosure. Kiara's intake of this information is, yeah, that sure is definitely in a place where I would be arrested. I do not intend to be there at all. She doesn't say anything, but the expression on her face is that of, like, yes, that's news.
Cool. And then what you guys hang out, and about like an hour later, you hear Order and Luscious come through the back door, panting. They look like they just ran like a marathon, and just kind of flop onto the floor.
Crispin says, Keyanthi will approach them with a look of concern on her face and offer a towel to wipe their face off with.
And Order just kind of like waves one hand up before flopping it back on the ground, and Luscious just like, oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Kiara approaches them with a smile, all in good humor, and says, if you had given me a second, I would have thrown, I don't know, a bit of cloud of darkness your way. You might have had a little bit better of a head start.
Oh, that would have been grand. Why did you... Why are you holding back on me now?
So you ran off a cork could do anything about it.
Well, you know we're a bunch of.
I told you that you're good at cutting out of a party too soon.
Well, you know us, a bunch of headstrong idiots. Anyway, did you get the scarf?
Glad to see you here.
Yeah, bring it out.
Oh, good. And then he pulled up the chalice, and he's just puts it on the table, and he kind of like looks at them all. All right. Well, I don't know how dangerous these relics are.
Bonfire time.
And to make a long story real short, I don't want these in the hands of the Dwarven government or any government, so I'm going to turn them over to the Vermeers. You might be familiar. I believe you are friends with one of the Vermeers. A lot comes to mind.
I was just like, I remember the phrase chiefess from here. I'm like, okay, we knew who it is. What is it? First name come back.
They're a family that's kind of been in charge of holding relics. I think they're the...
They do have demons in their family. They know what to do.
Indeed. They also are, they're, an interesting place. They live on Valarin, which is an island off the coast of the Elven Principalities. So they're kind of, he explains that the Valarin elves are, they're technically a part of the Elven Principalities, but, no one from the Elven Principalities goes there because the Valarin elves basically run themselves and cannot be tamed. And part of that's because they've been sitting on their job as like a family, their like calling as a family is to like hold relics and keep them sequestered.
Keep them secret,
Yeah, they're like Warehouse 13.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'll be making my way that way. So, sounds like you guys are going north, so I can travel with you. And Orders just goes, yeah, I want to get out of here.
Keyanthi will help Order to his feet. Say, yeah, it might be best for you to go where less people know you.
Are you trying to stay or to go? Sorry.
I'm saying that he should go.
Okay.
Keyanthi
Okay.
reach down and help support him a little bit.
Yeah.
What is that part of that I'll say?
Aw.
Just be a great little underarm support.
Yeah. He just makes this and he like puts his like elbow on your head.
Yeah, and
Such a great
he's
artist.
standing there, this big old wave of BO comes wafting.
Like both of his arms and like kind of moves himself at you.
I did prestidigitation and more sweat got bacteria again.
A little puff of like floral scent up his way. And then in a very older brother fashion sort of way, he waves his hand towards the pits. Do you smell that?
You smell it? You smell it? Can you smell it?
While this is happening, while he's like sniffing his like own BO, I want to try to stealthily cast Druidcraft, but make it like skunk sting.
Okay. Yeah, do it.
I feel like Luna would notice but not say.
Yeah.
Because she's a good friend.
Yeah. All right. So this is sleight of hand, right?
It's sleight of hand.
So, not good. Dirty 20.
Yeah, definitely. You kind of just like when you're sticking around. Actually, you know.
Yeah. When I whisper to my staff, and I'm like, Sipo, farts, and like Sipo knows what that means.
Yeah,
It's like for some reason I have a code for my spirits that people can't even see, but like it's my own thing. So I just like a little mote of like like comes out and just like kind of just comes.
Woo! It's just like, I know it's not that bad. And it's just like.
Ciara laughs. She finds us all terribly, terribly entertaining. These are good times. She came along just for the rides, and these are good times.
Yeah. I see Aradan actually like witnessing you talk to like this spirit that he can't see and just kind of like gives everyone this like he like now like what is she doing? While looking at everyone, what's happening? I mean, he's trying to make eye contact with people, so yeah, you see it. He's like, what is happening?
Anyway, so then Lucius kind of bundles up the stuff and she says, "Oh yeah, the Golden Hawks, they're in Jackson."
Yeah, it's
So
Just that's where we'll be.
there.
yeah, that's where we'll be going.
No, we're not. We ain't going anywhere near Jackson.
Kristin says a delicious backstory.
Yeah, so Lucius tells you that they're in Jackson.
Luna's like really grumpy. Like you can see that she's like starting to get her rage. She's like digging her claws. Like there wasn't a table in the scene before, but now I see the table, and it's
There's
just
a
like
table, yeah.
she's like digging her claws into the wood. It's like
What's wrong? We need to
you
get
know
to the
who's in
golden.
Jackson.
Kiara's initial reaction is, "Oh, excellent, a solution."
Would I know who's in Daxon? I don't think I would. Oh, I would.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You multiplied.
Yeah. I kind of like scratch my head and I'm like,
Oh, right,
right,
he's there.
he's there.
Unfortunately,
I don't know
if there's any
if
way
there's any way around it. If we want to get rid of this curse,
I think we have to go.
we have to go.
We can't. We can't go there.
We can't go there. I can't go back.
Well, Ciara kind of sits there and is like, "Well, I mean, it is quite endearing when you lick people and dig holes and sometimes sniff other people. I say you carry it rather well, all things considering. I think you should keep going the hard way. Just not really learning this other stuff, you know. For all the inconvenience, I think we could just go and ignore it. I think you carry it rather well."
She is also looking pretty terrible. Like she's like covered in hair. She's starting to have like the black veins like creeping across her body.
Yeah. We can't go there. The veins just pulls on her. You're like.
Yeah, she looks at Lucius because that's the only person she can think of who could have answers. Just like, do you know how long this gets worse?
How long this gets worse?
It's like this is because it's like progressing. So she's just like, where does it stop? Like, what's going on?
Kind of examines you. Well, in all cases, I've heard that it takes a full month to reach the height of the curse. So full moons. So,
So I'll be like a normal werewolf now? And will I not look like this? Or
I don't know. I think that it gets progressively worse until, I don't know, you learn to accept that part of you. I haven't really spoken to actual werewolves. I tend to just...
I mean, they're the only professionals that we know. We don't have really any other option.
but we can't go there.
I could go. I don't mind going and bringing back a proper solution. Maybe it's a draft, maybe it's a potion, I don't know. Maybe it's a rabbit foot. Oh no, she didn't say rabbit foot. She says a fast foot.
Well, if it's a curse, which is what it is, he taps his forehead and taps. Whatever battle is gonna happen is gonna be inside you. That's how curses work. So you have to learn how to fight the curse. Basically, like, exert dominance over it. But I don't know how to do that. I don't know if that involves a ritual. I don't know if that involves a spell. I don't know how it works. It's not my specialty. If you had demon toxicosis, then I could certainly help you out. But
Yeah, we don't know how long you'll have control.
She just kind of like digs deeper into the wood.
well, I mean, we can just head north, and then your friends can talk to this person. You don't need to go into town. You need information. Sounds like. Judging by how many outfits you've gone through, it's just no. Unless you want to just keep it as 3 extra packs of clothes on you the whole time.
Yeah, we have you to. I mean, all of us can back you up. I mean, it's just one guy. I mean, what if he doesn't?
It's not one guy, it's his entire team.
Yeah, but where?
Remember with Voltron?
We like form together, make an ultimate ex-boyfriend.
Well, you have your own team too. And I look towards everybody else. And I'm like, I mean, he might have a team, but like.
But I'm a werewolf.
And I hold your hands, and we're your friends. You can count on us.
I know, it's just like, there's also, if I see him, I don't think I'm going to stop myself from changing instantly. And then if I hurt him, or kill him, which as much as that'd be a relief to my dad and myself, that, like, I don't know what his family would do.
Well, probably bury him.
Kiara's not completely, like, just before she can even filter it, and she's just like, well, probably bury him. What's up around the room? I'm going to go get a drink.
I need it.
Oh, I see. This is a conversation that's not very well suited and sensitive.
And like, Lucius just looks at you and just busts out laughing, and he's just like, I'll join you on that drink. Family humor.
Kiara like goes to get the drink. She just sort of like just pats Luda's shoulder. It's like, oh, whatever it is your choice. And she's just drink.
Just links through the kitchen. Pink Panther song.
You had an Iravan who's been watching the whole time. Well, it sounds like this is your only option. If we don't go to Daxon and obtain this information, how are you going to control your curse? What if you don't control it and you're a danger to your friends?
I don't know. I just know I can't go there.
He just kind of like sighs. No, the kitchen's actually pretty far away.
What about the wine kitchen?
The wine cabinet.
Just out by the entryway.
And Order's kind of just like, I mean, I know my way around town and cities. What's this dude's name?
A Dovercar.
It's just like, you see him like think about it, and then there's this look of recognition as he just like mouths a curse word, and it's like, I know that guy.
Yeah, so do I.
Same Bard College. Though I'm an alumni, I met him at an event. He's a lot. I mean, that's coming from me, and I'm a train wreck. I mean, I'm a wagon wreck. We don't have trains.
That's how much of a train wreck he is. He's a train wreck.
That's right.
I'm a wagon wreck. We don't need to talk to him. We just need to talk to this Golden Hawk dude, right? I mean, can we bring the Golden Hawk guy out?
I mean, if word gets back to him that I'm there.
I mean, we didn't.
We'll make sure that it doesn't. You can. We can
it's-
disguise you. We can go in stealthy. I mean,
Well,
Trust
Ellie, you know
us.
the things he's done to me.
and I look down. Yeah, but we're running out of options.
I know.
Alright, well, do you want to just like think about it or something? Sounds like you got stuff to work through.
Yeah, probably.
Alright. Okay, well, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty. He just like goes and just flops on a couch. And we'll end it there unless you guys want to do anything else.
I think at this point, this is when, I think like this conversation would probably prompt Luna to do the thing.
Okay.
I just don't know how long it would take.
Do you want to do that now, or do you want to do that at the beginning of the next session?
I guess either works. I mean, I do have my prop.
Okay.
But I will have my prop next time too.
So you guys, it depends on how late you guys are able to go.
I guess so. I don't care
good
about my
too.
job
You have-
anymore, so.
Yo, yeah, you're the one that has work early.
So Luna's gonna.
You have a calling for it?
Yeah. You and Lucius are just like cajoling and drinking, and well, everyone kind of
Dissipates.
everyone breaks off into their own little area, and Luna, you go to the room that's been set apart for you guys.
Does Luna have her own room, or is she sharing with the group or one person? Or
You guys can share. They have. I think they have like 3 guest rooms. So they. It's up to you how you would want to split it, because you'd have to split it with the boys and the team.
mm-hmm.
So I don't know how you guys would logically solve that. My guess is that the boys would. My guess is that this is what would happen: is Lucius would just go in and claim the biggest bed. Orator would just pass out on a couch, and then Aravan would just you know, he'd probably just turn into like a cat or something and sleep on a chair because he could do that pretty comfortably as a cat. And
For a couple hours.
yeah. And then then that leaves 2 rooms for everyone, so everyone like has a bed to sleep on if they want to share a bed with someone.
Yeah. Luna, whoever she's sharing a room with, is gonna wait for them to like go to sleep or go into a trance or something, so she can be like completely alone, like pretend she's trying to fall asleep, sort of thing.
Okay. You're sharing your room with Keyanthi.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she's gonna wait for them to fall asleep, and then she's just gonna like been thinking about her like with the whole thinking about how she's like ashamed of herself now, and how like this is gonna affect her relationship with her family, and also like everything that went on with Odo and the abuse that she went through there, and how it was basically her family that like pulled her through it, and how like they were the ones who like protected her and backed her up the whole time. Like honestly, I feel like Odo has like an offset nose. From Buck.
Offset nose from Breaking It.
Yeah, but yeah. So she's just kind of remembering like how her dad always like tried to teach her and Lionel how to pray, but they were like too like fidgety and stuff like that, and just weren't paying attention to something that was just so kind of abstract to them. Like it was dead people.
Yeah, who were they to me? Why is that important?
Yeah. So but she remembered that like her dad always felt like he could count on like calling on like his great grandfather or something, and like asking for help with things. And then after her grandfather died, that like he sometimes prayed to her grandfather, her Poppy. She called him Poppy. So she just kind of remembers that connection there, and also vaguely remembers her super great grandpa Linus, who died when she was 4. He was like 200, half elf. So it's not confusing, but she just kind of remembers Lord Anthony, Poppy. She she just kind of like sits up in her bed a little bit and like curls up. And she just kind of starts whispering a little bit to herself, like in a prayer of like, I'm not entirely sure how to do this, Poppy, but Dad says you're there. I think it's worth trying to figure that out if you're really there. And figure out like if you guys really want me back.
Okay. Make a religion check.
Okay. I got a 6.
So it takes a while. You sit and think about like your past for a long time, and like
You think about the hold that Odo has over you, and even though it's been years, you were traumatized, and that wound is still there. And you look down at your claws and how fuzzy you are. And just the memory of Odo clings to your mind, and tears come down as you try to come to terms with the idea that like your family might not accept you back. And then like as soon as you like even breach that idea, you feel this flicker of warmth from deep within you. And it's this sense of calm and peace coming across from you, and you remember your dad and super What was you call him?
Oh, yeah, there's Dad, Poppy, and Super Great Grandpa Linus.
Yeah, you remember Poppy, your early memories with him. You remember his smile, especially. Like, you just remember one day when you were young that you were spending time with him. And that gives you peace of mind. And you remember a little bit of Super Grandpa Linus. And you remember something that they all would say to you, as he said, Arnolds are people whose bonds transcend time. And even when I'm gone, I will be here for you. You remember them kind of showing you the shrine and talking about it. Not exactly what, just remember them talking to you about the family shrine. And you fall into a sleep. And in this dream, you just are in this field and you feel okay. You feel peace of mind. And in the distance you can see that you've in the dream it's early morning and the sun isn't up, but in the distance you see these outlines of Grandpa Linus and Poppy, and there are great big dire wolves. And further behind them you see this female figure that you're not quite sure who she is, but in the back of your mind you somehow know her. And they reach out their hands like they're welcoming you home, and the words echo in your head. Come to us, Luna. Reach out to us.
She's very hesitant, but she kind of like walks over to them, like first slowly, and then I think as she it starts like kind of setting in that they're there. She's like, there's probably like a quick thought in her mind, like, am I dying? But like for this, she'll like actually start running to them, particularly to Poppy.
Yeah, and you run over to them, and you embrace each other, and he says to you, Luna, we are still here for you. You'll get through this. You're on Arnold.
But what about my dad?
Cat shrugs and he's just like, you'll always be his pumpkin. He still buys you those socks, The white fluffy ones. And beside him, there's a great big dire wolf. And he says, did you know you're named after my dog?
What?
He pats her. She kind of goes, woof. It's a lot deeper though. Yeah, she was a good dog. And
Dad?
You should ask him about that.
Okay.
And then they're like, we've sent your dad to come to get you.
What? Where is he?
He's on his way. Start heading to Burkus. And then we'll be able to work through this. And they hold your hands, which are still werewolfy. We can figure this out together. And then you see at your feet, you look, there's the yellow flowers that you've seen in paintings and in the Arnold symbol. I think they're daffodils, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, those daffodils. Just daffodils. And Great Grandpa Linus picks it up. Says, the Arnolds have the daffodil because it is symbolic of rebirth. we will always be your family unit. Whether you're a werewolf or a druid, none of those things. So let's figure out what you're going to be next. And he hands you the daffodil.
She kind of takes the daffodil and like cozies up to the dog that she's apparently named after.
Yeah. And after that, the dream fades and you go to sleep. That's where we're gonna end.
Okay.
Yay. Dog.
That's all.
Work.
Her name is Luna.
Yeah. Sure.
I-
You heard my dog. What?
I thought that was very cute. I love that. I'm named after the dog? Yeah, it's a good dog.
Hello, this is Tiffany, your DM. Thank you so much for listening to Dungeon Damsels. We really appreciate all your support. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps us out. And if you're interested, we also have a Patreon as well as a podcast version of our show. You can find it on Spotify, TuneIn, Podcast, Podbean, and pretty much anywhere where podcasts are. Thank you again so much, and we hope to hear from you.